Welcome, salutations, como se llama? What is going on?
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa! Howdy, mate. George, you got jokes for me tonight? Yeah, you gotta take your meds first. Oh, yeah, hold on. Let's talk to the medic. I named it. It's called the medic. I have an adopted child, and he said, I want to find a stoner podcast. Like, what does that even mean? People that just smoke weed and sit and talk. I'm like,
there's so many of those.
so many. What do you think I do? All right, George, what's your joke?
Did you hear about the stolen dog collar?
No, I didn't.
Police are looking for leads.
That's right. They would be attached to the collar, right?
Exactly. Did you hear about the octopus that held up a convenience store?
No.
It was an armed robbery. Two fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "Any idea how to drive this thing?" And you really like my jokes tonight.
Pretty good. They're like dad jokes. You got any kids?
No.
That was a long pause.
I know, it was very thoughtful. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Why do
ducks have tails?
Oh, I told my son this one before. No, he told me.
So why do they have tails?
To hide their butt quack.
Exactly.
That's it, I'm leaving.
Did you hear about the equestrian that got laryngitis?
No, don't even say it.
Now she's a horse whisperer.
I'm sorry, guys. They're so bad that they're funny.
That was good.
I wasn't a fan of facial hair, but eventually it grew on me.
I bet it did. You're covered in hair.
All right, one last one for your reading for the night. What do you call a book club that's stuck on the same book?
What?
Church.
You're bad. Have a good night, George.
Good night.
You want to fly? Fly! Woo! Wait, I got a joke for you. What did the mummy say after getting to detention?
I don't know what.
This Sphinx. I can't even with his laugh, man. All right. We're going to pause for a moment so I can compose myself. Then we're going to read some scripture. and were composed. From the Hermetica, the initiation of Hermes. In this chapter, Hermes describes a mystical vision of the creation of the cosmos, upon which all his latter teachings are based. Hermes derives his wisdom from a dramatic mystical revelation. While his mind is alert, yet still and empty, he hears God speaking to him. Hermes asks to be shown the true nature of reality, and suddenly everything begins to change before him. In a mysterious vision, he witnesses the creation of the world. This vision is not meant to be understood intellectually, but contemplated like images from a dream. However, we can explore a little of its deep meaning. Hermes' first experience is of an all-embracing divine light, which, as he watches, casts a shadow like dark, restless water. Later, he's told that this light is the mind of God, and the dark waters are the unlimited potential out of which God will fashion the universe. This is a mystical vision of the first act of creation, remarkably similar to the modern scientific theory of the Big Bang, and in Christianity, where it says that the Spirit of God was above the waters. An explosion of light and energy slowly cools to become the black womb of space, into which suns and planets and finally ourselves are born. This birth, like any birth, is accompanied by pain, and Hermes hears an inarticulated cry of suffering from the turbulent depths. The light then speaks a word which calms the chaotic waters. This word is like a blueprint that will organize a structured cosmos out of the chaos. Modern modern science might call it the fundamental laws of nature. This word is the first idea in the mind of God from which everything springs. And we've discussed those in the Kabbalah already. Initiated into the secrets of the creation, Hermes receives his divine mission from the supreme being. Only this knowledge, he is told, can save those who live in darkness. Hermes must become a spiritual guide to all mankind. The initiation of Hermes. My senses were suspended in mystic sleep, like a weary, well-fed drowsiness, but an alert and conscious emptiness. Released from my body, I flew with my thoughts, and while I soared, it seemed to me, a vast and boundless being called my name. Hermes, what are you looking for? Who are you? I asked. I am the way guide, the supreme mind, the thoughts of Atum, the one God. I am with you always and everywhere. I know your desires. Make your questions conscious, and they will be answered. Show me the nature of reality. Bless me with knowledge of Atum, I begged. Oh, I've done similar. Suddenly, everything changed before me. Reality was opened out in a moment. I saw the boundless view. All became dissolved in light, united within one joyous love. Yet the light cast a shadow, grim and terrible, which passed downwards, became like restless water, chaotically tossed forth spume-like smoke. And I heard an unspeakable lament and an inarticulate cry of separation. The light then uttered a word which calmed the chaotic waters. My guide asked, Do you understand the secrets of this vision? I am that light, the mind of God, which exists before the chaotic dark waters of potentiality. My calming word is the Son of God, the idea of beautiful order, the harmony of all things with all things. Primal mind is the parent of the word, just as in your own experience your human mind gives birth to speech. They cannot be divided one from the other, for life is the union of mind and word. Now fix your attention upon the light, and become one with it. And then when he had said this, he looked into me, eye to eye, until trembling I saw and thought limitless power within the light, to form an infinite yet ordered world, and I was amazed. I saw in the darkness of the deep, chaotic water without form, permeated with a subtle, intelligent breath, a divine power. Atum's word fell on the fertile waters, making them pregnant with all forms. Ordered by the harmony of the word, the four elements came into being, combining to create the brood of living creatures. The fiery element was articulated as the constellation of the stars and the gods of the 7 heavenly bodies. revolving forever in celestial circles. The word then leapt up from the elements of nature and reunited with mind the maker, leaving mere matter devoid of intelligence. My guide said, "You have perceived the boundless primal idea, which is before the beginning. By Atum's will, the elements of nature were born, as reflections of this primal thought in the waters of potentiality." I don't know how to do that. Swedish Giga Chad. These are the primary things, the prior things, the first principles of all in the universe. Atum's word is the creative idea, the supreme limitless power, which nurtures and provides for all the things that through it are created. I have shown you everything. Why do you wait? Write the wisdom you have understood in hieroglyphic characters carved on stone in the holy sanctuary. Make yourself a spiritual guide to those worthy of the gift of knowledge, so that through you Atum may save humankind. I was overwhelmed with gratitude to the All-Father who had graced me with the supreme vision. In awe and reverence I prayed, "Please never let me fall away from this knowledge of your being, so that I may enlighten those who are in darkness." Then with his power in me I began to speak. The aloof laughed at my words, and others knelt at my feet. I told them to stand and receive the seeds of wisdom, which I will sow in you with these teachings. So listen, men of clay. If you do not pay keen attention, my words will fly past you and wing their way back to the source from which they came. I know that resonated with me. I don't know if it resonated with anybody else, but I've been there. I've been there, Hermes. I was there with the little voice up there in the darkness that was. I saw a vision similar. I wrote about him flying into the abyss. It's actually I'm referencing the video about the writings in 2019 that I wrote. You can check out that video. I may be making some videos about some more of those videos to put in that playlist soon. Poetry, short stories, whatnot. Oh. 8. We're on the plains of correspondence. Oh. You're always so long, ain't you? I think we're gonna get to half of this today. Maybe. I need liquid. Parched. Like a lizard in the desert. Oh man. Technical difficulties. Anyway. The planes of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. The Kabbalah. But this is also in the prayer that Jesus prays, that teaches us and teaches his disciples how to pray. It says, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done. Thy kingdom come, on earth as it is in heaven, so below as above. As above, so below. As below, so above. On earth as it is in heaven. The great second Hermetic principle embodies the truth that there is a harmony, agreement, and correspondence between the several planes of manifestation, life, and being. This truth is a truth because all that is included in the universe emanates from the same source, and the same laws, principles, and characteristics apply to each unit or combination of units of activity, as each manifests its own phenomena upon its own plane. For the purpose of convenience of thought and study, the Hermetic philosophy considers that the universe may be divided into three great classes of phenomena known as the three great planes, namely the great physical plane, the great mental plane, and the great spiritual plane. These divisions are more or less artificial and arbitrary, for the truth is that all of the three divisions are but ascending degrees of the great scale of life, the lowest point of which is undifferentiated matter, and the highest point that of spirit. And moreover, the different planes shade into each other, so that no hard and fast division may be made between the higher phenomena of the physical and the lower of the mental, or between the higher of the mental and the lower of the physical. In short, the three great planes may be regarded as three great groups of degrees of life manifestation. While the purposes of this little book do not allow us to enter into an extended discussion of or explanation of the subject of these different planes, still we think it well to give a general description of the same at this point. At the beginning, we may as well consider the question so often asked by the neophyte who desires to be informed regarding the meaning of the word plane, which term has been very freely used and very poorly explained in many recent works upon the subject of occultism. The question is generally about as follows: is a plane a place having dimensions, or is it merely a condition or state? We answer, no, not a place, nor ordinary dimension of space, and yet more than a state or condition. It may be considered as a state or condition, and yet the state or condition is a degree of dimension in a scale subject to measurement. Somewhat paradoxical, is it not? But let us examine the matter. A dimension, is a measure in a straight line relating to measure, etc. The ordinary dimensions of space are length, breadth, and height, or perhaps length, breadth, height, thickness, or circumference. But there is another dimension of created things, or measure in a straight line, known to occultists and to scientists as well, although the latter have not as yet applied the term dimension to it. And this new dimension, which by the way is the most speculated about, fourth dimension, is the standard used in determining the degrees or planes. This fourth dimension may be called the dimension of vibration, which will be the next chapter. It is a fact well known to modern science as well as to the Hermeticists, who have embodied the truth in their third Hermetic principle, that everything is in motion, everything vibrates, nothing is at rest. Well, we know, who was it? Who said, a subject in motion will stay in motion until affected by an outside source? That was some scientist. Newton or something. And the Hermetic principle says that everything already is in motion, nothing is at rest. For the highest manifestation to the lowest, everything and all things vibrate. Not only do they vibrate at different rates of motion, but as in different directions and in a different manner. The degrees of the rate of vibrations constitute the degrees of measurement on the scale of vibrations. In other words, the degrees of the fourth dimension. And these degrees form what occultists call planes. The higher the degree of rate of vibration, the higher the plane, and the higher the manifestation of life occupying that plane. So that while a plane is not a place, nor yet a state or condition, yet it possesses qualities common to both. We shall have more to say regarding the subject of the scale of vibration in our next lesson, in which we shall consider the Hermetic principle of vibration. You will kindly remember, however, that the three great planes are not actual divisions of the phenomena of the universe, but merely the arbitrary terms used by the Hermeticists in order to aid in the thought and study of the various degrees and forms of universal activity in life. The atom of matter, the unit of force, the mind of man, and the being of the archangel are all but degrees in one scale, and all fundamentally the same. The difference between solely a matter of degree and rate of vibration, all are creations of the all, and have their existence solely within the infinite mind of the all. The Hermeticists subdivide each of the three great planes into 7 minor planes, and each of these latter are also subdivided into 7 subplanes, all divisions being more or less arbitrary, shading into each other, and adopted merely for convenience of scientific study and thought. Whew. It's a lot to take in tonight. I don't know if I'm going to get much further into this one. It's a quick stream day, I guess. We're going to do part 1 of this video, and then we're going to do more later. And we'll read the Bhagavad Gita tomorrow, too. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or morning, wherever it is and whatever it is at the time you see this. Know that you are chosen for a message. You're here for a reason. As Hermes states, we're here to spread the wisdom so that we can fight off the darkness. May be blessed. This is the way. Peace be with you.